We are here today to rejoin these two in unholy matrimony. Somebody get me the screws. Alright, a little bit of a quick tip here. So, you have some screws on your guitar that look like shit. You know, they once looked nice black plating like this, but then they turned out to look like this, where it's got some oxidation on there. Plating might have been removed somehow, scratched up, or whatever, and you want to make it look like this. Quick, easy fix, quick, easy tip. Take your screw, get yourself a drill, place the screw inside the drill, tighten up the chuck. Do not over tighten the chuck because you can crush the threads on the screw. I'm using right now the Mother's Mag and aluminum polish to do this. Now, you want to hold the rag, because if the rag wraps around this, it's going to rip right out of your fucking hand or pull your hand into the chuck, and that's going to hurt. You don't want to do that. So these are plated black, and from the way they look, it might be just, you know, they've been dipped or something in plating to make them look black like a paint or something, because this shit's coming off pretty easy. Put a little bit of the compound that you're going to use on a rag. Place the rag on the tip of the screw. Remember, hold on to the rag. Turn on your drill. Polish the end now. And now you have a, looks like a chrome plated screw. And you can also lightly scuff that up and hit it with some Rust-Oleum paint on the top of the screws to make them look black again. Got rid of all the oxidation, got rid of, you know, anything imperfections, nice and smooth, and there you go. Little quick tip. Alright, so goddamn sound effects. Hold on a minute. Alright, so the Ibanez is going to be placed on hold for a little bit because I still have to wait for parts to come in. I've got two control knobs that are coming in that are unique in their own way. They illuminate, and I'm kind of wanting to show you how those work. Maybe you guys might want to get a set or two or whatever for yourselves, and if you're interested, I'll let you know what the where I got them from and the price of them. I also ordered two pickup rings because the ones that are on there are starting to look pretty shitty. They're worn out, the plating is coming off on one side of them. I thought maybe I could polish it out and end up maybe restoring them back, but nah. They're Cosmo Black, which means it's like a darker chrome, and I picked up a set to replace them, exactly the same thing. So until those parts come in, gotta wait. Alright, so another little quick tip. Say you have to drill new holes on a neck plug up the old ones to get it to fit properly, or you have a new neck that has no holes in it and you have to drill the holes yourself in order to mount that neck to that guitar. Well, say in this case we have a body that already has holes pre-drilled in it and we want to match this up. Well, line everything up, get the right size drill bit that you need to do for the job, for the screws that you're using, preferably a drill that is smaller than the shank of the screw. When I say shank of the screw, that is not including the threads. This way you can open that hole up a little bit bigger to fit the shank so the threads bite into the wood. Now, in this case here, what I'm going to show you is that, say for instance, this was a neck that has no holes inside of it. So you have the holes in the body, you start lining everything else up, clamp it down, drill your holes into the body that are already pre-drilled into the neck, and you see, remove the neck, and you see a burr or something, some wood that's been pulled up around the hole that you drilled. Take a razor blade and shave that burr off, because after you end up putting the two together without shaving that burr off, that little bit of wood can throw your neck off just slightly to kind of mess things up. It won't sit flush against the body because of that burr. And then put your neck back on the body of your guitar and put the screws in. Another quick tip is always have the right size screwdriver for that size of a screw that you're using. Say for instance, you put your screwdriver inside there, there's no wiggling back and forth, and you can let that screwdriver stand up inside that screw without tipping over. That bit is fitted for that screw perfectly. That also helps with guaranteeing that you're not going to have any problems with tightening up that screw to where the screwdriver is going to end up jumping over and skipping to the next part of the insert on the cutout that's on the screw. This way you always have a nice clean screws to where there's no burrs on them, they don't look like they're stripped on the heads, and you're using the right tools for the job. Just another little quick tip. Another little quick tip. Never torque the screws down on your neck. You want them tight, yes. You want them to be really, really snug. But if you over tighten them a lot, say this had a lacquer finish on it with a nice clear coat lacquer finish on there or whatever. If you over tighten these things to where they're really, really torqued down, you can risk cracking the finish in the pocket over here on either side of the neck. You can even risk cracking the wood because of the stress of these screws being too tight. So you kind of want to make sure that, they're snug inside there, they're tight enough, but not over tightened to the point where you're going to break the head off the screw. So that's another quick tip to watch out for. And another thing is once you mount your neck to the body of the guitar, you want to make sure you look around the edges over here to make sure there's no gaps. If there's any gaps, then there's something that's a foreign material, or something is not lined up properly. Say that the holes in the body are threaded with the screw, and say that you can't pull these two together because this screw is bigger than the hole that's in the body, and that's going to throw you off as well. So what I always do with the bodies of a guitar is, especially when they're already pre-drilled like this, if this screw here threads inside the hole of the body, I always take a one step bigger, not much bigger at all, just like maybe a few thousandths bigger drill bit, and open up that hole to where that screw is snug, but it kind of slides inside there to where it's not grabbing any wood. That way, when I put the two together, the neck and the body, it'll squish the body down to the neck without having any problems with leaving a gap here. So those are my quick tips for today.